My name is Mia Reeves. I'm a CPA and I'm the owner of Francis and Reeves Advisory. And I'm sitting here with Azeem. He's one of our favorite clients.
I'm the owner and operator of Cubic Technologies, which is an IT staffing and service company. We've been with Francis and Reeves for 3 years now, I think. A lot of entities being organized and making sure the activity is kind of properly done and making sure we're taking the right steps.
Hi, everyone. I'm the owner of Francis and Reeves Advisory. We have a team of 14 people. We've helped hundreds of business owners with their taxes and their accounting needs. And I'm sitting here with Azeem. He's one of our favorite clients, and I've known him for a while now, a few years back. And he owns a very successful business and over 100 employees, right, Azeem?
Yes, that's
Um,
correct. Yeah.
and he's going to share with you guys his experience working with us and also want to introduce him to our network. So if anyone have a referral for him and his company, that would be very helpful too. But I'll go ahead and kind of let you introduce yourself to everyone, and then I'm going to have to ask you a few questions too.
Sure. Sounds good. Hi, everybody. My name is Azeem Marediya. I'm the owner and operator of Cubic Technologies, which is an IT staffing and service company. We mainly focus on software development type of projects for bigger clients, but we also have a different division that does, application development, robotic process automation, and different types of services for small businesses to kind of help improve and streamline their processes and save them money or make them money. So through technology. So that's kind of what we do. We've been with Francis and Reeves for 3 years now, I think. To be honest, I met Mia via, I think it was a cold email that you sent that I responded to, and then from there, I had a conversation with her. I enjoyed her thought process and the way she looked at accounting and taxation, and so we kind of started working together on a small project, and from there we expanded our relationship, and right now we're working with her with most of my businesses. I have multiple businesses, but we're working with her with most of our businesses, and so far we've been enjoying the relationship, and it's been very helpful for her to help us organize our tax and plan our taxes to save us the most amount of money, and also just making sure we're on a timely deadline and we're meeting all the deadlines that we have. Our business is it's somewhat complicated because we do businesses in about 20 plus states, and so navigating payroll and income tax in those states is very cumbersome. And Mia and her team have done a great job to help us get organized and get everything filed properly and on time.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your feedback. And yes, I think I've known you for 3 years, so it's a while. And I remember you were
Yeah.
reading emails, and then we met in person too in
Yes.
Dallas.
Yes,
Um,
correct.
your businesses are huge, like multiple businesses, multiple partners, and yes, in multiple states. So,
Yes.
would you mind sharing a little bit more about like what exactly you're doing for your clients in terms of recruiting, how that system works, and then if anyone wants to apply for a job with you or have a referral for you, how would that work?
So we find we find talent for bigger companies, and then so if you have a background in programming or in Java or computer engineering, then we can help you out in terms of finding a job. We have clients mostly in the financial sector, but in their tech departments,
Mm.
and we focus on just making sure the individual has the right skills to fit what our client needs. We provide, a little bit of training for them if they need to make sure that they're on track and being able to complete the job duties that the client requires. And so if you're interested in an IT position, mostly around programming, then I would be the person to contact. And, we are obviously, like I said before, we're in multiple states across the country. We do work in Texas, California, in the East Coast, in Georgia, and Florida as well. So we're kind of everywhere. And our whole goal is to make sure we find the right fit for our clients as well as our consultants that work for us directly.
Got it. That's awesome.
Mhm.
And so you placing the employees for like I would assume big corporations, right? IT
Yeah,
and
so mostly they're working for Fortune 1000 companies. So
mm,
in the financial sector, so they'll be at Capital One, Fidelity Investments. We've placed people at Chase in the past as well, and so that's kind of where we place people at Vanguard as well. So those type of institutions that have big financial hubs that need a tech department and need programmers, we provide those programmers for them.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
You guys obviously have a very good business model because I've seen the way that your company grew over the year, and it's just very impressive growth. I often think that after a business reaches like $3 million in revenue, it's harder to grow because like you're at a different level. But
Yes.
even you guys like you keep, doubling, tripling your revenue. So what would you say would be like the number one secret to your success, like your growth, at the same time
Uh,
maintaining the quality of work that you provide?
well, this we are constantly training and developing staff, internally, and to make sure that they're, have the right incentives to continue to perform well for us. And
Mm,
so that's kind of I think the main secret is to make, I always say, like, if you give somebody what they want, then you can have whatever you want. So if you're providing them like a good program to grow, and they will help you grow as well. So I would say invest in the people that have worked hard for you, and then that from that you'll be able to gain additional success through that and growth.
I could really see that because I've only had a chance to work with you and your business partners and your main accountant, your CFO, I would say.
Yeah,
And he is just on top of the game all the time.
yeah.
And what was impressive about the way that you guys work from a client, like from accountant to a client perspective, is you guys are always like on top of things, respond really quick to us, and then always provide us with what we need to get to the next step in the whole process. Knowing that it's a pretty long process, we appreciate you being on top of things and having the great people to help, giving us enough information to
Yeah,
finish our job.
I cannot take credit for being on time. I would have to give that to my staff and mostly Ali to help us kind of making sure we're meeting your deadlines. And so he keeps
Mhm.
me in line and, and making
We're,
sure I'm
we're
providing.
often we're often joking that like, do you guys even sleep? Because we do get about like very late at night,
Yeah,
no matter
yeah,
what, we hit the deadline.
exactly. We make sure that we get the work done. And so
Yeah.
for sure.
Um, so back to accounting and taxes, what would you say like your experiences was before you work with us, and then your experience like have been throughout working together?
Yeah, I mean, before it was very disjointed. There was very not a lot of organization from our previous experiences that we've had. So the biggest thing is this being organized has been what's helpful. We have um, we have a lot of entities that we deal with on a daily basis, and just being organized and making sure the activity is kind of properly done and making sure we're taking the right steps. And this being, to be honest, being available, right, and responsive to our needs and our questions have been fairly smooth and easy for us to make sure that we're able to, be able to get responses and get on the phone to make sure our questions are answered.
Mm,
So the biggest thing is just overall is the responsiveness and the timeliness of just getting everybody organized and on the same page and taking charge of that. So that's been very helpful for us.
yeah, thank you. And that's huge because it's a company your size. If one thing goes wrong, then other things could go wrong as well. So we want to make sure that
100%.
we're on top of things and respond to your request in a timely manner because you have a lot of important things to worry about. And so
Mhm.
accounting and taxes should not be something that you should worry about every day. But unfortunately, that's the
Yeah,
case for a lot of business owners.
yeah, that's definitely a big thing that we were able to do is just kind of hand it off and trust you guys and be able to execute. And you've done a great job for us for the last 3 years.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And so I'm just curious in terms of like tax strategies that we've done with you throughout the whole 3 years that we worked together. Maybe you could share with us like one strategy that you like the most that you've implemented and it's
Um,
oh,
I think the biggest one that we've implemented and taken advantage of is 831B that we've done, and through your network of relationships, we're able to kind of execute that very easily, and
mm,
uh, and so that was very helpful for us. We've looked at different strategies like the tax credits and whatnot, and that have been helpful, or the R&D tax credits
mm,
the kind of thinking differently about how we're doing business and be taking advantage of different aspects of the strategies that you implement. And so it's things that you don't think about or have uh, since like it allows us to focus on running our business instead of thinking about how to maximize our tax benefit. So it's definitely been helpful to have you guys on our team.
That's awesome. And thank you for your referral because I know that you've referred your partners to us and other
Yep.
people our way. So we really appreciate it as well.
Mhm.
We hope we could grow with you
Yes.
until we make like $1 billion.
Yeah, so and in addition to that, we have a few products that we're launching soon. So
Oh yeah.
to help kind of facilitate small to mid-sized businesses to be more tech enabled, right? Like that's so our whole goal is to use our products to become digitized and be able to kind of navigate the new way of doing business.
Hmm. And now I know that and how long have you been an entrepreneur for? Probably way before we met.
Yeah, so I started my business in 2013.
Hmm.
That's when, so I guess it's been almost 11 years. I've been, yeah, taking advantage and trying to, be an entrepreneur and kind of control my own destiny in that way.
And having partners too, because working with
Yeah,
partners is not the easiest way, but you guys somehow just make it seem so,
yeah,
easy to
it's
get.
just yeah, so it's a give and take relationship and a partnership, right? So you just
Mm.
have to make sure that people will evolve, but you just have to what the core principles of what we're trying to achieve as a business and is. And so yeah, I've had great partners luckily in it, but it hasn't always been like that. But right now we've definitely have a good relationship and we continue to work together for our own goals as well as our combined goals as well.
Gotcha. And so I have a couple questions to just elaborate on the entrepreneurship journey that you've been through. So for the people who kind of want to start their own business or people who are new in the entrepreneurship journey, do you have an advice for them? And then my next question is about like, okay, for people that are established, because I know that you are way more established than a lot of businesses. Like any other advice or
So in terms of advice to get started, I guess it's don't overthink it. Put your head down and work hard.
mm,
In terms of the things that you believe, you're not gonna really know until you try it. Until some ideas you have to really do thorough work and engineering and financial models and all that stuff, and that's all good. But it really comes down to just putting in the effort and going for it. And that's, I think, the biggest fear for anybody is just like, what if this happens? There's a lot of things that are happening, but you have to kind of take that first step forward and just go for it. You know,
mm,
and, just that's kind of what the way I looked at it. And 2013 was a big struggle. 2014 was a big struggle. And then in 2015, it started like, seeing an evolution of like, okay, this can work. And so we I just stuck to it and then kind of kept believing in the idea. And so just go after something you really believe in and something that you feel like you have you're excited about every day and then just keep at it, keep going at it, and don't give up because you're gonna have ups and downs and it's about just staying consistent with your effort every day.
And would you say that right now you have a different kind of struggle compared to the struggles when you first had, like when you first started your business? Or right now it's like, it's all great. It's,
Yeah, I mean, there are different challenges because keeping up the consistent amount of like growth is a very difficult thing, and so now like kind of recovering and understanding like okay what needs to happen differently now that we did before, and then it definitely is a challenge to have the same type of energy to put it into it than we did at the beginning.
mm,
Since
sure.
at a certain level it's like okay how do we continue to have that growth and success that we've had over the years, and so that's we have to kind of continue to reinvent yourself to kind of continue to meet the different demands that the market has, right? So,
Mm,
uh, yeah, looking at different strategies to kind of continue to grow is something that is a different challenge than initially where you're just focused on making sure this works.
that's
Now,
true.
yeah, so that's kind of where we are now.
Having the energy to sustain the business and then maintain your
Yeah.
growth. your own health, right? And
Yeah,
also,
I mean, exactly. And so, I mean, I've definitely, you know, did focus a lot more on my health recently than I
Mhm,
have in the past. And so, but yeah, just having consistent routines and this, blocking off times where you spend the energy on certain things, and then when you
mhm,
have deadlines, then you dedicate your time to that. But just consistently being able to, just showing up every day, right? It's like it's
mhm.
not I guess the big saying goes, Rome wasn't built in one day, but it's
It's true.
every piling on good days after one good day after another will
Mm.
lead to a sustained success.
That's
So
true. That totally makes sense because all the effort that we do, like all the details that we take care of that no one sees, will one
yeah,
day become something big, but like only us knowing because people often look at
yeah,
the big things that you can accomplish, but like the small things, no one really look.
yeah, exactly. And the things that you do, like nobody's gonna ever notice or see. Like especially
Mhm.
as an entrepreneur or business owner, it's like, those things are not gonna be seen, but they're gonna help the business, and somebody else can build off of what you kind of lay down the foundation. And that's kind of the biggest key. I think what we've done is lay the foundation and let people grow on that foundation.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what our goals kind of been.
That's awesome. And then so one last question is like, what's your big goal for your business? It's just say like your vision for the business decades.
Um,
Oh,
I mean, okay, so we're now getting into the product side, and so like, oh my, I really didn't overthink it. I've always kind of lived in the moment, and yes, I have all these aspirations and goals, but I um just want to kind of work and continue to grow. And that's basic. I don't want to. I say that I want to, be a exit for $1 billion or something crazy like that. I just want to kind of continuously stimulate my mind and continuously like learn and grow and you know do stuff that kind of business models that kind of continue to produce success.
mhm.
um, so I don't know what that where I'm aiming for, but I'm just trying to learn and kind of grow every day, and then be able to give people opportunities to grow with me,
That's
and
awesome.
get opportunities to grow with people, right? So that's kind of the biggest thing that I look for, is because you don't know what opportunities lie, and I don't want to focus on one big aspiration. I just want to continue to grow as a person and as a company.
That's great. And then the way that you say it, like you want to grow, so you have the growth mindset, but you also want to make like bring people with you through the journey and help them grow as well. That's
Yeah.
number one thing that help your business like so successful. And we've experienced that in working with you too. It's like you're always very generous to share your ideas and your tools and like helping us out as well as well we're helping you. But like it's a mutual
Yeah.
yeah.
You got to find people that you can work with that that are just have good intentions, good hearts, and then want to
Mhm.
work together to kind of grow together. And so it's hard as a business owner to find a lot of like-minded people. Luckily I have partners where I can rely on, but
Mhm.
because some people don't understand where you're coming from or your journeys is because they can't put yourself in their shoes, and so
Mhm.
that's definitely a challenge that all business owners will face is having that support system. So
That's true.
yeah.
Well, and thank you for sharing all these advice and your feedback on our process working together. I just want to tell you that I really appreciate you as a client as well because I remember when we first sent you the email, I think a long time ago, and we first met.
Mhm.
My business was not the size of the business we had right now. It was like
Yeah.
me and a couple more employees,
Yep.
and back then your business was already established. So to take on the engagement with you guys back then, it was like a huge, it was not like a huge challenge, but it's something that we had to stretch ourselves to
Yes.
accomplish. So right now we have like a whole team that could support you guys, but we do really appreciate that you trusted us since the beginning, even
Yep.
though we're newly established up until this point. So
Yes,
this is
for
my
sure.
seventh year in the business, but back
Hmm.
then was like my fourth year, so I just started to understand what it was like to
Yeah.
manage people and manage a business, and so it's a huge win for us to be able to still stay with you guys until the day and continue to grow together. I just want to say that I appreciate you for trusting us back then.
Okay.
So
Well,
now,
thank you for your support, and like I said, we continue to hope that we can grow together, and kind of support and help each other out as businesses.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you. And so if people want to apply for a job with your business or they would like to refer people to you, do you have an email or any sort of phone number they could
Yeah.
call?
So you could email me directly at azeem@cubicit.net.
Mm.
It's AZEEM at CUBICIT.net.
Okay, so they
Mhm.
email you directly and you could place.
Yeah, then I could figure out which way to direct them.
Do you work with people that are like almost graduating, but like they're not?
Yes, so we work with all different types of people. We look for mostly computer science backgrounds, and so that's the only restriction that we have. But if you have different levels of experience, we could definitely work and figure out how we can fit you into a position.
And so you can work with interns as well, or people that.
Internships are a little bit difficult, but they have to. It depends on their experience. So we work with a lot of people that have experience from their home countries. So we have a whole full-on immigration
Oh,
team.
yeah.
So
Mm.
we work with people that have experience back in their home countries and they're here for a master's or something. So in that case, we could definitely help them.
Uh,
But if it's just like a fresh out of college or something like that, we won't be able to help them.
Gotcha. Oh, you know what? That is very something that's very special about your business too, that you are sponsoring for. We could potentially doing the sponsor.
Yeah, so
Mm.
we sponsor for H-1Bs. We also do a green card processing, and we do different types of immigration statuses that we work with. We work with something called an OPT, a CBT.
Mhm.
So we've done all that in the past.
I was on H1B and OPT in the past
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So
So,
I
yeah,
know how hard it was.
it was very difficult.
Yeah.
Luckily I didn't have to go through that process myself personally, but I've
Mm.
seen it in the struggle and then having to go back to your home country and not knowing whether you come back. And so it is definitely a struggle, but we try to help them kind of figure out that journey for them. And so that's another reason why I enjoy doing the business that we're in is like we were able to help so many people achieve their financial and I guess their quote unquote their American dream coming from another country, right? So
That is so true. Well, we
yeah,
appreciate that. And I do have people that I could refer your way. So then I can just email you directly then.
yeah, for sure, right?
Anyway, thank you so much for your time, Azim, and great chatting with you. And